MyMac Podcast 991. Can you hear me now? Good.
You're listening to the G-Men on the MyMac.com podcast.
And welcome everyone to the MyMac.com podcast. You know, we are so addicted to our smartphones that we carry them everywhere and just assume that we will always have a way to communicate with our loved ones. Well, many have recently discovered that you can't always count on that. So what's the alternative? Apple's satellite communication services to the rescue. Well, for some people anyway. Gaz, how are you today? How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Guy. Very well indeed. I have been out on a ride today, as is my want, really.
Yeah.
It's been quite a busy week, as usual. The problem is I can't remember what I've been doing. Of course, there've been several bike rides, bigger bike rides, one today and one earlier in the week, a smaller 20-miler, sorting out our windows at the back, taking Wilf on lots of wanderings, meeting friends for coffee, having meeting with other villagers about the church. Yeah, all churches in the UK need repairs. Making a small shelving unit to put my backup drives, my airport, my modem, and the OWC I have. Lots of adjustments, well, in numbers. On my Mac, of course. My Apple Watch gave me some odd heart rate readings, and I'm going to have some investigations. Nothing drastic. Don't worry. I'm still here, still standing. We'll see what comes of it. So actually, it seems I can remember what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Say what? A
little bit. For me, it's like 15 minutes gone. I don't know. No idea.
Yeah, like a fish.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, I. What is that called? Goldfish memory. There was some show where Ted Lasso. That's what it was. Where they talked about have the memory of a goldfish.
I'll tell you what.
Mine was self-inflicted.
I probably have said this before. We are loving the most recently. See, I can't remember the damn Slow Horses. We have been watching it and loving it, absolutely loving it.
So. I got to get back to it. I have not.
You need to get season 1. You need to get onto it. You need to go to it. Anyway, what have you been doing?
Well, it's a long weekend here in the U.S. and I wanted to do something other than just, oh, look, it's another day off where I can just sit here at my computer and do things. So Tracy and I were going to travel down to a place that we haven't been to in a very long time. And we used to go there all the time, Colonial Williamsburg in, shocker, Williamsburg, Virginia, which is also the home of the University of William and Mary, which is where Tracy went to college. Colonial Williamsburg is kind of like Disneyland for historic sites, except everything is real and you don't have to give up the equivalent cost of a kidney to go there. So it's actually very reasonable. It's like $25-$30, which gets you into, because I mean, you can go there for free and walk around and see the buildings and whatever outside stuff they have. But if you want to go inside the buildings and, see the displays and all the rest of that, it's like $25, $30, grab you. And as far as food goes, they've got a couple great places to eat. And you can always get, I'm blanking on the name of them. It's these particular gingerbread cookies that they have, and they're big. Size is relative, of course, but they're like this big. And I've got really big hands, so you'll just have to figure.
Let's leave that there. Let's not go any more on those sorts of.
Yeah, and I have been known to exaggerate size.
Can't think why.
I'm not going to go any further with that.
Have you changed your setup? Are you still using the same mic?
I am the Lewitt 440 Pure. The only thing I've changed is this low profile boom arm that I bought during Amazon Prime. Cool. And it's not as convenient as the one I had before, but it's smaller and lighter and doesn't get in the way when I want to do other stuff here on the desk.
Good. Well, I think that's a good point to jump straight into Gaz's snippets.
Whoop,
Now,
I didn't hear the sound.
that's not good because I'm hearing it perfectly well. Oh dear. Now, that's
Hmm.
that's a bit of a problem then, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be.
It could be.
I don't think I
It's
have the Gaza snippet sounds.
ooh, let me just try that again. No, you're not hearing anything.
No, no. Oh, I
So,
found it. So go ahead and say it.
um, say what? Gaz's snippets.
Okay.
Right. That's a
We're
bit of a
perfected.
problem for later on then. I don't know why it's not
Yeah,
coming through. I don't know why
yeah.
it's coming through to me, and it's feeding through on the audio hijack, Mr.
Well,
Catharsis.
check and see what input you have going into StreamYard.
Okay, well, I'm going to do that really very quickly. I see where the problem is. I see exactly where the problem is. Okay, so can you still hear me?
Yes,
You can. But now you can hear.
I can.
Brilliant. So
Thumbs
it's
up.
my fault. It wasn't Guy's fault at all. It was my fault for
Wait, hold
messing
on.
up.
I'm trying to grasp this as a concept. No,
It's not
no,
working, is
it's
it?
not
It's not
working.
working. It's not working. Well, it was my fault, folks, not Guy's. Anyway, we are jumping into my snippets, which I had to do on my iPad again. So excuse me if you're watching on YouTube for me looking down because I had to do it on my iPad because reasons. There you go. That's it. New unboxing video allegedly reveals unannounced M4 MacBook Pro benchmark results. I might have some more
What?
news on that. Yeah, I know. I know. It's this is a video out of Russia, but
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, we can
yeah.
certainly trust that.
Well, you may be able to trust it more than you think, actually, because obviously Apple can't. They're not supplying anything in Russia, are they?
Yeah.
Officially, nobody. So people in
Everything's going
Russia
through the back
can
door.
probably get hold of stuff through the back door, and they can say what they like because Apple can't do anything. Because
Well, they
anyway,
couldn't do anything anyway.
true, true. However, the
Yeah. Let's
video
moving on.
here's the next snippet, which is a carry on from that.
Okay.
They claimed the M4 MacBook Pro specs are likely real-ish, even if the video pertaining them isn't. So get that one. So what I think what's happened here is somebody has probably got the M4 MacBook numbers and they've tried to pretend it on a MacBook that they've got, which isn't a MacBook M4. People will go to
Yeah.
the weirdest ends
Yeah.
to do stuff.
Honestly, I can't even verify or confirm whether it's even on a Mac. It could be on
Yeah,
a Chromebook for all we
I
know.
can't verify whether I'm actually here today,
Who
but
said that?
I seem to be. Apple tightens iPhone repair policy to prevent fraud. Apple has strengthened its parts pairing technology to deter iPhone repair scams. If only they could deter people doing scams about their equipment.
In the first place, yeah.
Apple's head of procurement is departing after 24
He's a
years.
going?
He's the going. That's Dan Ruskies.
It almost
I
sounds like
like
a dog's name.
I
Here,
like
Ruskies.
going
Here,
through.
boy. Come on,
I like
Ruskies.
I like going through all these different pronunciations rather than trying to get it right in one. I like going Ruskies,
No, it's fine.
Ruski.
Ruskies.
Anyway,
I'm totally happy with that.
this one I had to put in was I found it quite intriguing actually. Apparently, the acclaimed Apple original series Severance is getting a physical media release. Isn't that weird?
What, they're gonna put it out like on DVD or Blu-ray?
On Blu-ray, apparently, yes, a Blu-ray edition.
That's
Isn't that
weird.
odd?
That is odd.
And Wilf's just suddenly come in
I
because
I heard the door open. So,
because
here's the thing, folks. When I'm talking to Gaz and Wilf decides to come into the room, I see him. I usually see him, but this time I think you had the door not quite closed all the way. So
he's got out now.
yeah, he started like pushing on the door, and I could
Yeah.
hear the door going. It's like, okay, ghosts, got it.
It's like a ghost in the house.
Yeah.
Anyway, apparently Severance is coming out on Blu-ray. We shall wait and see. Chinese hack of US ISPs shows why Apple is right about backdoor for law enforcement. Hurrah! Or not hurrah. I
You
don't know
know,
whether that's good or bad. The fact that
here's
it's happened,
again,
creating a scenario where actually we need to make sure that it doesn't happen.
yeah, here's the thing. Even if all of these things never happened, Apple, keep doing what you're doing as far as encryption and security and all the rest of that stuff goes. And we had a big laugh last week about pre-crime, but it doesn't matter. It's like, no, you're the government, and you have no inherent right to the information on my computing devices.
Should Apple cease fixed annual iPhone updates? Now, this was a poll. Normally, I don't go to these, but I was just interested in what the results would be. So, at the moment, okay, this poll that was put out in asking whether Apple should put out, annual iPhone updates, the majority of people, almost 40%, 39.45, say that it should be released every other year. 30% say it should be ad hoc with no fixed cycle, which is what I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that one.
27% think it should be as it is now. And there are 3% that are unsure.
But I'm going to take the poll anyway. I have no idea what I'm going to say, but I'm not sure.
Now, this one, I don't want you to comment on it because I've got a follow-up later on. Apple could launch a smart ring by 2026, says analyst. I'll come back to that. Don't mention it. I'll come back to it.
Okay.
iPhone mirroring is currently a privacy and legal risk on work Macs. I can understand this totally. If you're going to start mirroring your phone on work Macs, just remember whose Mac it is. Not yours. So what are they gathering? Maybe some information or data or screen dumps from you mirroring onto that Mac. So just be careful.
And on the other hand, why would companies allow
Correct.
you to mirror your phone onto their Mac?
I don't know how big this news this is in the US. It was of interest to me, but you may go, wow. Home Depot is quietly beginning to roll out Apple Pay support. Now, I vaguely remember a story about them going, no, we are not going to support it many, many moons ago. But apparently, maybe they want to now.
Yeah, maybe they should have done it then too. I think the only really big retailer that still doesn't accept Apple Pay is Walmart. And I'm okay with that because it means I don't shop at Walmart.
Apple tweaks the screen recording app permissions in Mac OS 15.1. Oh, I didn't realize it's a beta. Ignore that because I don't like doing beta news. But apparently you're going to get less pop-ups, but we'll wait and see on that one. iFixit now sells a tool to easily remove the iPhone 16 battery. Back to the repairability of phones moving forward. Well done, Apple. iFixit are already there with the tools. The legality of free music streaming app Musi may be settled as developer sues Apple. So,
wait, what?
Yeah. So basically, Musi, MUSI, has sourced its music from YouTube using a method it claims was perfectly legal, while parent company Google, which is Alphabet, disagreed. When the two sides were unable to reach an agreement, Apple pulled Musi from its App Store, a move the
Oh.
developer says lacked good cause. So it looks like they're now suing them for doing that because it may not be legit.
Well, they honestly, we're talking about copyright infringement, which
Hmm.
means that if Musi is found to be violating copyright, then anyone who supplies that application could also get dragged into it. So, as a precautionary tale, Apple has removed the app. So, Musi, get your copyrights in a row, and I'm sure Apple will put it back in.
Well said, that man. How Apple Watch can know when you're sick days before actual symptoms?
Santa
Apple Watch
Watch.
Apple Watch users have been pleasantly surprised to find that the Vitals app, part of the latest watchOS update, can now predict potential illness. Right.
Yeah, Santa
I
Watch.
look, it's good, but I'm not sure it's that good
Yeah,
just
it
yet.
sees you when you're sleeping. It knows
Yeah.
when you're awake.
It's going to make you very ill, and then it tells you
It
so.
tells you why.
Veteran Apple engineering leader Dan Riccio is retiring this month.
Ooh, sorry, I didn't mean for that. Did that feedback come through to you?
It did.
Okay, sorry.
So stop moving your head about. Apple and Amazon strike deal to sell Apple TV through Prime Video. Interesting point, I thought that was.
Yeah, about time.
China has detained 4 employees from the world's largest iPhone plant. That in itself, I found, and I thought, okay, so, you don't know what they've been doing. Let's leave it. It's China. Okay. The interesting point I found more into the story was the fact that it said that the plant still produces 80% of the world's iPhones. And that made me think, hang on a minute, all of this hoorahing about Apple moving its iPhone production to other parts of the world, yet 80% is still made in that plant.
Yeah, well, I
Mm.
mean, they just opened up that new plant in India, but I get the feeling they did that mostly just to gain greater access to that
Oh
market.
yeah. Because India were basically refusing sales or putting a
Yeah,
heavy tax on them if they didn't make more there. So, but there are other, there's been lots
or
of chat.
Vietnam and
Yeah.
Taiwan
There've been
and
lots of
yeah,
chat about moving production. However, that's great. Give us the numbers, Apple,
yeah,
so we know. Yeah, okay. Realistically, most of the iPhones are still being made in China, which we kind of knew, but don't pretend that it's being moved out.
yeah.
But good that they're
Although,
doing it.
here's
Good
the
that they're
thing,
doing it.
you will know when it actually happens because China will throw a fit, and you'll see all kind, and it happens anyway, but you'll see all kinds of like super anti-Apple stuff going on when production reaches some value that they find concerning.
Yes. Shall I move on?
Yes, sorry.
Apple, don't apologize. Never apologize.
Okay, then I'm glad. I'm glad I did that. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, I nearly played the no fooling bit, but I can't do it that to you. Apple hosted a global police summit, global, to help law enforcement use its products better.
Okay. Are people that are in, this is a loaded question. Are people that are in law enforcement not quite as smart as people that aren't in law enforcement, that they can't figure it out?
I don't know, but it's
Okay.
good that they're doing it. They're getting in all sorts of areas, health and all sorts. Back to the ring. Back to your ring.
Okay.
Headline: Apple has no plans for a smart ring.
Yuringa.
And funnily enough, that story started at the top of the ring, went all the way round, and came back to the start
I
where
don't
we
see
were.
the point of a ring. But
Well,
anyway, let's not.
there's no
Yeah,
point.
let's not go
It's
into
just
that.
got a hole in it. Just round
Yeah,
up.
so does the story.
It's like an infinite loop. Apple once again cuts interest rate for Apple Card savings account. I did have the numbers here. Yeah, that's going to happen while
It's
the
still
interest
over.
rate is
Yeah,
going down, folks.
exactly.
Apple opens a massive research lab in China amid stiff iPhone competition. Apple has opened a huge new research lab in Shenzhen, China. Apparently, there's at least 1,000 employees there. So, they're certainly moving out of China.
Yeah, there it is, right there, black and white.
Apparently, some BMW owners have been experiencing issues with the shared car keys on iOS 18. That is why you shouldn't jump automatically unless you are happy to accept that there could be some issues with early releases of any software.
Or even later releases of software, depending on what
Well,
it is.
18's only been out a little while, so
Well, I no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that using your phone to start your car and all the rest of that. Because how could that possibly go wrong?
well, it shouldn't. Apple's 16-year-old SuperDrive is now out of stock, Guy, worldwide.
Damn it! I was just going to get one too.
Apple has cancelled the self-driving vehicle testing permit in California. Is that a surprise after it's abandoned the car project? Not
No,
really.
I think it was more along the lines they just didn't renew it, not so much canceled it.
iOS 18.1 includes an option to set the primary email address and change iCloud email, which I think is what you may have been trying to mess about with last week.
Oh, well, I'm not sure, but go ahead.
Well, that's it.
Oh, no, I don't need any more information. Oh, are you talking about like doing emails on multiple devices?
Is 18.1
No,
still a
it's not
beta?
out yet. It's still in beta.
So why does that not tell me it's beta? I'm not very happy with that. So we shall see what happens with that when it comes out. So I'm going to finish it there, Guy. That is the end of Gaz's snippets. And I've got to say, I don't have a Gaz's link this week's sad face.
Yeah.
So
wait,
I think
what was that other sound? The opposite of Gaz's snippets? Yeah, that was it. That was it right there. And as promised, we have a couple of the bumpers that have been given to us over the years. So many bumpers, so many insults. And I think we have a couple of good ones today. You have a new one. I have an old one.
Okay. You play yours first.
Oh, you want me? Okay.
As we agreed at the start.
I don't remember. It was more than 15 minutes ago, Gaz.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Who are you and what are you doing on my computer screen? All right. This one is from UK Allen.
As their wives often lament to each other, the G-Men is such an ironic name for two men who have never yet hit the spot. The G-Men on the MyMac Podcast.
Yes, thank you. I'd forgotten about that one. Thank you very much. Well,
thanks, Alan.
Here's one more. Yeah, here's one more bumper before we get into the next section.
Two hosts, no answers. The G-Men on the MyMac Podcast.
And no waiting either. You don't have to wait to get non-answers from us. We'll tell you right away. Oh my God. And guys, stick around. We have a lot of content this week from people calling in. So get ready for that. But what we're going to talk about this week, and what I'm going to talk about this week, is Apple's satellite service. And this is relatively new. There was a rudimentary version of this, I think, in iOS 17, but it's kind of come to the forefront now. And their new satellite communication features, particularly emergency SOS via satellite messages via satellite, Department of Redundancy Department, offer significant potential for emergency preparedness and communication during natural disasters, or if a user is out of range of a Wi-Fi or cellular network. So it's specifically designed for situations where traditional communication infrastructure is compromised or non-existent, such as during hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, or other natural disasters that can damage cell towers and disrupt mobile phone networks. As I was writing all this, I didn't think about this just until now. But if you're in a major city and the whole cell network goes down and everybody starts trying to use this at the same time, I wonder what would happen. Hopefully,
Mm,
we'll never find out.
no.
The utility of these features in disaster scenarios is highlighted by their deployment in response to recent hurricanes, where they can provide a critical lifeline for communication. In the case of Hurricane Milton, the ability to send text messages and emergency alerts via satellite was especially valuable for residents in areas prone to power outages and cellular network disruptions. Okay, so what are the main features? They've introduced two satellite based features in iOS 14 and later models, not modules: emergency SOS via satellite and messages via satellite. These features enable communication even when cellular and Wi Fi networks are unavailable. Emergency SOS allows you to connect to emergency services and share your location and critical information. Messages via satellite enables you to send messages and SMS text messages, including emojis for some reason, to contacts. Now, what are the requirements? In order to use this, you have to have an iPhone 14 or later model, iOS 16 or later for emergency SOS, and iOS 18 or later for messages. And you must also have a clear view of the sky and horizon. So, how do you initiate it? First, try calling emergency. Blah, 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 blah. First, try calling emergency services. If the call fails due to lack of signal, you'll be prompted to use emergency text. Tap emergency text, then report emergency. Emergency. Good God, what is wrong with my mouth today? Then report emergency. Answer the on screen questions to help responders understand the situation. Follow the instructions to connect to a satellite. The interface will guide you to point your phone at the sky. Your information and location will be shared with responders, which is good because you may not necessarily know exactly where it is that you are. Now, this also includes your emergency ID, medical ID, and emergency contacts if you've set them up. So if you haven't, I highly recommend that you do.
Yeah, good idea to do so.
Yes. So how does it work? Go to the Messages app for messages via satellite. When outside the cellular or Wi-Fi coverage, an alert will indicate when you can use it. Follow the instructions to connect to a satellite. A dynamic island indicator on supported models will show you connection strength. Send text messages and emojis as you normally would in iMessage or Message. Remember that you can't send photos, videos, audio messages, or group messages via satellite. Now, can anyone receive these messages? Recipients need to be on iOS 17.6 or later to reply to messages sent via satellite. They can also receive them on a non-Apple device via SMS. However, they won't be able to receive those messages until they're back in cellular or Wi-Fi coverage, assuming that they were out of it in the first place. How long does it take? Message transmission time can vary. It can take about 30 seconds with a clear view of the sky and horizon. Obstructions can increase that time, and you may need to move to a different location for a successful connection. Is it available worldwide? No, it is not. emergency SOS via satellite is available in various countries. If as long as those various countries are the US or Canada. This is likely due to infrastructure requirements and regulatory approvals needed in various regions. Are there any limitations? Yes. Messages via satellite only supports text and emojis, no photos, videos, audio messages, or group messages. Satellite connections can be affected, as we said, by obstructions, so a clear sky and open areas are ideal. Messages via satellite has limited geographic availability, only in the US and Canada, and RCS messaging is not supported via satellite. And that's the main gist of what was going on with that. What do you think?
Pretty comprehensive. What do I think? Well, I
Yeah.
can't get it, so
Oh,
I
that's
think
right.
it's rubbish.
Gas hates it. Gas just hates it.
However,
Yeah.
I'm nodding my head because it will be good when it comes here.
Oh, are you actually nodding your head right at this very minute?
Hit it. Gaz's
Got
tips.
it.
Mostly clean.
Gaz's tips.
Mostly clean.
Gaz's tips.
It's time for
Gaz's tip.
Okay, so a bit of a continuation on preview because I like preview. Did you
Preview
know that you
rocks.
can make Did you know that you can make all sorts of adjustments to photos in preview? Well, you should do because I told you previously. However, you can also crop a selected area. So what you do is you select the area and then in tools you'll see the option to crop, or you can use Command K and now you have a cropped photo which you can then save separately. You can also rotate your photo or even flip an image both horizontally or vertically. Okay, so what if your file size of the image that you've got is too large? Well, you can go into tools and adjust size, and there you'll have a number of different options according to exactly what you want to do. I love Preview Guy, don't you?
I do. You can also crop, which is awesome as well. Oh, you're nodding.
Hit it. That's the end of Gaz's tips. That's
Mostly
the end of Gaz's tips. That's
Mostly
the end of Gaz's tips.
Is that the end of the tip?
Will you let me finish?
Gaz, you are absolutely right.
There we go. Okay. I don't know. I laugh at the most random things, guys. I really, really do. I just find lots of stuff funny. We have a lot of feedback this week, guys. Of course, Mr. Cheesed Off has entered the building, as well as long time listener who I'm going to play his first. These are from NC Greg.
Hey guys, it's Greg from North Carolina. I
Hi,
just
Greg.
wanted to congratulate you on concluding the MyMac podcast after 403 wonderful shows. You will certainly be missed. And
What?
The Mac and Forth show is going off the air, and the MyMac show isn't? Oh, that's got to be wrong. I don't understand. The listeners of the MyMac show, did we lose a bet? Are we being punished or something? That thing is still in the air while the Mac and Forth show with Carl Madden is going off the air. Yes, so the one with Gazmaz is staying on the air, and the other guy that's with him, what's his name? Oh yeah, his name was Guy.
Oh, Greg, you help me out here, Gaz.
Oh, okay, I'll help you out.
No fooling.
Oh, thank you. Greg. All right, we have another one from Greg.
Hey guys, it's Greg from North Carolina.
Hey,
again.
Greg.
I continued listening to episode 990, and it sounded like Gaz may have been a little unclear on some of the things that have been happening here in the United States, or possibly the podcast was recorded before some of these events. But he was describing the recent assassination attempt of a presidential candidate here in the States as if they were pre-crimes or something that they were suspected. No, I mean, one guy took a shot at him and hit him in the ear, and there was a little bit of blood, and another guy was like hiding in the bushes with high-powered weaponry at the golf course where the man was playing golf. So, when they were talking about decrypting the iPhones of the assassins, these were people who were legitimately close to assassinating a presidential candidate. This wasn't, some pie in the sky thing. Just thought I'd give that clarification. You guys have a great time.
Thank you, Greg. And that is quite clear. I think there was a little bit of misinterpretation there.
Yeah.
My interpretation of what was said was that he wants, and I perhaps took it a little bit
What?
my way, was the fact that those people, absolutely, totally agree with that they should have their phones checked, to
If you can.
understand, if you can, to understand what's going on. I took it that he was looking to have a pre-crime scenario.
Yeah.
So that was
It was a
my
joke. We were
that
just
was my slight adjustment on
Yeah.
what I deemed. So, but thank you for the clarification. Absolutely spot on. And
Yes.
totally agree with it. And totally agree with you. Absolutely.
and good luck decrypting those phones. So
yeah.
I still don't think Apple should do it. So we got one more. We got one more from Greg.
Hey, Guy. Hey, Gaz.
Hey, Greg.
Greg from North Carolina.
Hi.
I was listening to the most recent MyMac episode. I believe it was number 990. And Gaz mentioned that he's reached the stage of his life where he enjoys going antiquing. And knowing some of his other predilections, I just wondered, does this mean that in a future MyMac episode, we can look forward to hearing Guy podcasting on a mic from the 1970s or 1960s? Just thought I'd ask.
Okay.
Y'all have a great time.
Thank you. I actually have a comment on that.
Really?
Yes, I do. While we were in Asbury Park, this one place that we went to, I was kind of waiting for Tracy and our friends to show back up. They were in a different part of the antique place. And I had mentioned to someone there that I did podcasts and that, shocker, I had lots of microphones. And one of the guys that worked there, excuse me, was like, oh man, you should totally, you should go ahead and buy this antique microphone that we have. So it's like, really? So followed him over to a different part of the store.
No.
Wait. And this was like a microphone, broadcast microphone, probably from the 1940s.
Brilliant.
And it was really, really cool looking. It wasn't like, do you know what I mean when I say, Elvis Presley type microphone?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay. It didn't look like that.
Oh.
But it was a very, very old microphone. The problem was the connector at the other end of it is not compatible
with anything
that I currently have. And I don't know if you could get anything that you could connect it with.
For
and
you.
He even offered it for me. Yeah. And it was even on a stand.
No. That wasn't for you. That was for you.
Yeah. Thank God. So, he says, look, I've had this for a long time, and you're like the very first person that I've ever met that showed any interest whatsoever. And I'll sell it to you for $25. And I have to admit, I was tempted, but I didn't want to buy a microphone that I couldn't even try. To just have a microphone that goes, oh, look at this old microphone. Yeah, no, unless I can actually try the damn thing, I'm not going to buy it. So I would have to have come with some kind of amplifier or something else that had a analog output that I could plug into something else so that I could hear what it sounds like. But to have it just for the sake of having it, and I think that this actually represents personal growth on my
It-
part,
it-
Gaz.
It does actually. It does.
It really does.
My expectation there would have been that you'd have got it and then gone on the crusade of trying to get
Trying to
that
find some way,
amplification.
some way to use it.
Yeah.
No, I left it there.
You well done. We're moving forward finally.
Finally,
Guy. I
finally.
like it.
I have to
Now-
admit, though, that I remember where it is.
Oh dear, that's not so
Yeah.
good. Have we got any more feedback?
We do. We do. We have one from Mr. Cheesedoff. Thank you. Mr. Cheesedoff, what do you have to say this week?
Hello, Guy and Gaz. Mr. Cheesedoff here.
Hi.
Oh, you were right last week, Gaz. So here goes. Those flipping money-grabbing suits at Amazon, they're shoving even more adverts down our gobs on Prime Video. As if we weren't already drowning in a sea of corporate bilge, now we get to pay for the privilege of being flogged more tat than we don't need. It's like being fork-fed spam sandwiches at a Michelin-starred restaurant, innit? We're coughing up our hard-earned quid for what? The joy of having our favourite shows chopped up like a butcher's lunch special. And where will these ads pop up? Probably right when the killer is about to be revealed, I reckon. They call it a gentle entry into advertising. Gentle? Ha! About as gentle as a Glasgow kiss on a Friday night. What's next?
Oh.
We'll start paying TV license
I don't
fees to
get
watch
that.
bloody YouTube. Actually, let's not give them any ideas either. And now, they want us to shop straight from the video stream. Oh, brilliant! Just what I've always wanted. To impulse buy a bloody toaster while I'm trying to watch The Boys. It's enough to drive a man to drink, I tell ya. Right, I'm off to cancel my Prime subscription and go back to watching paint dry. At least that won't try to sell me anything. I don't know. It all really cheeses me off.
Brilliant.
What is a
Brilliant.
Glasgow kiss? Okay.
Basically, it's a headbutt.
Oh,
So what for those watching on the video, what you would get is see you smack.
and the crazy, and I've seen that before. The crazy thing is, it can be done on purpose to hurt someone or as a term of endearment. So,
It's always a term of endearment. Now, I've just remembered we
Yeah.
might even have another piece of feedback,
ooh,
which oh no, we haven't. No, it's okay. It's okay. I've kept it in my inbox and I shouldn't have done. I should have cleared it out. So we're fine.
oh,
All
was
the
that one we
feedback.
played last week.
No, don't worry about it. It's
Okay.
all the feedback has been played. Excellent.
Yes. So, please, if you would like, send us more feedback. And you know what, Gaz? I'm going to make a change in how we do this show.
Oh no.
I'm going to change the feedback section to just before we talk about our contacts because it doesn't make any sense otherwise, even though that's the way we've done it for a really long time.
Sorry, are you actually making a change there?
I will make a change going forward. That's what we're going to do. So
Okay, right.
we'll talk about like other things before we get to that first. And then right after we have all the feedback, we'll talk about how to contact us.
Folks, I don't know what he's talking about, so I'll just have to wait
Well,
and see
for
next
example,
time.
right now, we don't have anything this week, but this would be where we would talk about.
You're
for
talking
pick's
about you're talking about for pick's sake, yes.
Yeah.
You see, if you hadn't mentioned anything and just gone on, it would have been smooth as silk. But no, you had to lay it all out there,
Yeah.
all of the dead wood for everybody to see and hear. No,
Also-
I can't just move on. It's in the show notes, so I've got to mention it. Oh no,
Yes.
I can't mention it because there's nothing there. That means I've got to talk about the fact that we're going to move the feedback, which we might not get. And I'm just crazy.
Also,
you are funny, guy. You
I am.
really are.
Also, all the different ways that you can support the show is in between this and where we talk about how to contact us. So I'm going to move that too.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
I'm going to be completely confused next time.
Welcome to my world, Gaz.
His name was Guy.
Oh God. I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Please.
No fooling.
Thank you. Oh my God. Every time my heart goes da-dum and then just stops until I hear it. If you would like to help support this show for whatever your reasons may be, you can do so by going to patreon.com/MacParrot. You can also go to ko-fi.com/MacParrot or PayPal at paypal.me/MacParrot. /MacParrot. And it'll be so worth it now because things will be in the order that they should have been originally. Yeah. Womp. Okay, Gaz. If people wanted to get a hold of you to send us feedback, how would they do so?
Easy. Send an email to gaz@mymac.com. That's GAZ
Gaz.
at mymac.com. And
Yeah.
on the socials, all sorts of socials, you should be able to find me as Gazmaz. If you can't, send an email to gaz@mymac.com and I'll point you in the right direction. You
Yeah.
can also
How do you spell
contact
that?
GAZ.
Cars.
You can also send GAZMAZ.
Cars.
You can also send a tweet on the X's. See what I did there?
Yeah.
To Guy and Gaz /
X.
whatever
or-
it is.
yeah,
X
whatever the hell it is.
/ Guy and Gaz,
If you're,
whichever
on,
way
if you're
it
on
is.
X, just type in Guy and Gaz. You'll find it.
Yeah. And it's GUYANDGAZ.
Cars.
You can also send feedback to feedback at mymac.com.
Oh, I love doing this
His
show.
name was Guy.
Oh, no.
Guy.
Guy?
Guy's the one.
He's the guy.
He
Pay
is.
no attention to that guy behind the curtain.
They do.
Guy says,
Where?
I like to go with Guy.
Yeah.
You remember Guy?
Do they?
My guy?
Who the hell even knows who this guy is?
Nobody.
If you want,
An email from Guy.
how would they do it? Hello?
No fooling.
There you go. Thank you. Keep killing me, Gaz. Keep killing me. If you'd like to send me an email, you can do so by sending that to at mymac.com, GUI at mymac.com. You can also reach me over on the X's. I am both Mac Parrot and Vert Shark. Though I pay a lot more attention to the Mac Parrot part than I do the Vert Shark part. I am also Vert Shark over there on Instagram and Threads.
I pressed the wrong button.
That's okay. It all works. Because I'm also Mac Parrot on Counter Social and Mastodon.social. We have a telephone number, Gaz, don't we?
We do. So have I got to play it or are you playing it?
No, you play it.
Call 703-284-677 for the MyMac Podcast with Guy and Gaz. It's tech heaven. That's 703.
And there it goes down in volume.
284-677.
For
Get in
no
touch
reason.
now. Your call is our tech driven 703.
That is weird that it
It
goes
is
down for
weird.
you because it stays the same level for me.
Yeah. But apparently StreamYard is like, nope, cut off that volume.
That's crazy.
And in case for some reason you didn't understand it, 703-828-4677. If you call outside the US, make sure you dial the country code.
And you
might get charged. and you might get charged. So probably the best way to do it is to send us audio feedback on the various ways that we just talked about to contact us. So unless you're like an anti-rebel and just want to use a regular telephone number. So that's what you would do.
Too much explanation. Far too much.
Way too
explanation.
much. Way too much exposition there. Yeah. I had things to say and no reason to say them. There you go. Kind of the way it works here. So here we are at the sad part of the show, Gaz. Or we're kind of rolling into the sad part of the show.
Oh yeah, I'm really sad.
Yeah.
Really sad.
Yeah, it's coming. Here it is. It's time for us to go. So thank
Oh,
you. Thank you
farewell.
all so very, very much for downloading and listening. Listen to the MyMac.com podcast. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. That is no joke. Gaz, I think that we were good enough. And I think that we were smart enough. at certain parts of the show.
Yeah.
And that doggone it, Wilf, woof, woof, Wilf, that dog that just kicks doors open when he wants to go into a room. People like us.
Did you hear about the circus fire? It was intense.
Oh, good God.
And
Hit it.
No. That was the wrong
that's the wrong one.
There it is.
You're listening to
No,
another
that's
great
not it
podcast
either.
in the-
Is this it?
Thanks for downloading and listening to the MyMac Podcast. You can also hear other great podcasts on the MyMac Podcasting Network, like the Tech Fan Podcast, Three Geeky Ladies, Geekiest Show Ever, the Let's Talk Podcast, Essential Apple Podcast, and the Club PlayStation and Club Nintendo Podcasts.
You can all go home and there's nothing to worry about. Get out of here now. Go on. Go on home and I go home.